Today I went to take the seminar about HTTP, the foundation of the web. First of all, we see about the introduction to HTTP. HTTP stands Hypertext Transfer Protocol, is the foundation of communication on the World Wide Web. It enables client-server communications, allowing web browsers to retrieve web pages from servers. Around 97.9% websites use HTTP or HTTPS, making it a critical protocol. Example, when you type google.com in a browser, HTTP enables the communications between your browsers, which means clients, and Google servers. In this slide, we are seeing about the HTTP's request response model. Request, which means the client sends a request to the servers. Response, it stands the server processes the request and send back a response. HTTP is stateless, meaning each request is independent of previous request. Once a response is sent, the connection is closed unless persistent connections are used. Example in HTTP or the anatomy of the HTTP request, uh, which means the whole structure of the HTTP request. The first one is method. Method specifies the type of the request, which means get, post, or etc. URI. URI stands Uniform Resource Identifier. It is identifies the resource. Example, uh, like HTML files, like index.html. Headers carry metadata. Example, user agents accept content type. And fourth one is body. It will not be compulsory, it will be a optional. Contains a data used in post or put request. Example, a browser making a get request for index.html follow this format. Like host will be example.com, user agents will be mozilla slash 5.1. This code will be used for get the request in index.html. Common HTTP request methods. The first one is get, which retrieves the data. Example, loading a web pages. The second one is post, which sends a data to a server. Example, submitting a form. Third one is put, which updates an existing resource. The fourth one is delete, remove your resources. Get is the most used method, about 80% of the requests. Example, when submitting a form, post is used to send user data to the server. HTTP response codes. Response codes indicate the status of a request. The first one is 1XX informational. Request received, processing continues. The second one is 2XX successes. Request completed successfully. Example 200. Okay. Third one is 2XX reduction further action needed. Example 301 moved permanently. The fourth one is 4XX client error, error on the client servers. Example 404 not founded error. The fifth one is 5XX server error, server side issues. Example 500 internal server error. Example, if a page does not exist, the server returns 404 not founded error. HTTP headers in metadata and controls. Headers provides additional information about the request and response. This consists of two types: request headers, response headers. Each will be consist of three subheadings. The first one is request headers, consist of user agents, accept, and content types. Uh, User agents identifies the client, which means browsers or OS. Accept. Accept specifies the acceptable response formats, and then content type, which describes the request body format. The second one is response headers. Uh, it is also consists of three types. First one is content type, specifies the response format, example HTML, JSON formats. The second one is control length, which indicates the response size. Third one is set cookie, stores session data on the client. HTTP and security in HTTPS. HTTPS, which stands HTTP secure. It secures HTTP communication using TLS, which stands transfer layer security, or SSL, which stands socket secure layer encryption. Encryption protects data in transit. Certificates verify the identity of the servers, example SSL or TLS certificates from trusted authorizes. Port 443, standard port for HTTPS. HTTP uses port 18. Example, online banking sites use HTTPS to protect sensitive transactions. HTTP/2 performance improvements introduced to improve HTTP performance with multiplexing, header compression, server push. Multiplexing, which stands multiple requests sent over one connection. Header compression reduces request or response size. Server push, send resources before the client requests them. Adoption rate, approximately 50% of websites use HTTP/2. Example, when loading a web page with many images, HTTP/2 can load them simultaneously. HTTP/3, the future of HTTP, uses QUIC protocol built on UDP for faster, more reliable communication. Reduces head of line blocking, improving speed. Supports connection migration, allowing mobile users to switch networks without losing connectivity. Improves performance on unreliable networks. Example, streaming service benefits from HTTP 3 due to its low latency. And the final slide is conclusion and HTTP's evaluation and importance. In the world, 90% of the website traffic is secured by HTTPS. 50% of websites have adopted HTTP 2. The next generation HTTP/3 being adopted for faster, more effective web communications. HTTP remains a critical protocol, evolving with security and performance improvements. Understanding HTTP is essential for web developers and cybersecurity professions. Thank you.